Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. We're back in the USSR, and you don't know how lucky you are. We're getting right back into it at a rate of knots, I would hasten to add. At the end of the last episode, we were pretty darn threatened, actually, that there might be a capitalist plot to assassinate us. As you can see, the Battenberg group are very, very, very much on the way to completely obliterating me. Their membership is continuing to increase each and every turn, so hopefully we don't get assassinated this turn, otherwise it's going to be a very short episode, eh? Anyway, yes, also someone in the foreign policy department, the foreign minister, I guess, the foreign affairs minister, yep, he resigned. He's a lily liver lackluster chap. We want to find someone who is a socialist, actually, or a patriot. No one who is a liberal. Conservatives and farmers. Yeah, let's get you in. You're a tank. You are dope. You're exactly what we need in this situation. Anyway, let's go to the next turn. Hope beyond hope that we don't get assassinated. Please, 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 please. No. Capitalist plot is still in place. That's fine. Credit rating upgraded. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's going to be another significant boost to GDP. This is great. This is great. Also, if we have a little look at the polls, oh my goodness. Would you look at this? We are actually becoming popular. Can you believe it? Battenberg group is still very, very high, but that's okay. We've got an opportunity now, hopefully, to deploy domestic undercover agents. Yep, I think that's exactly what we want to do. Let's get this deployed. Corruption is going to increase. Nothing happens to the liberalism or the trade unionist membership. Alright, fine. Let's hope that that actually makes a difference. Domestic undercover agents has now been implemented. Let's have a look. There we go. So that's basically all of the new policies. We still want to introduce the rest of these policies, but at least for now that has been dealt with, which is pretty darn good. Okay, wow, holy cow, we've got a 51 billion surplus. I feel that we should be spending that money. But there's not much to really spend it on. There's not much that we really want to try and do. I mean, all of the stuff that we want to do involves political capital costs. Yeah, they're not going to like that. Yeah, that's... Hold on, actually, the civil rights protests is going to be destroyed by the domestic undercover agents. Well, that's fine. That's a price that I'm willing to pay then. Corruption is, however, going to see a significant increase, which is not great. However, none of this stuff actually really matters. The modifiers that happen because of corruption, pretty darn small, which is fine. I'm quite happy with that. And organized crime is actually going to be countered by the domestic undercover agents anyway. So one of the modifiers in corruption anyway is organized crime, which will be kept under wraps anyway. So it doesn't particularly matter. Yeah, holy cow. I guess we just continue to start paying off our debt. And once again, we need to pray. I mean, we're not a very religious country, of course, as a lot of religious people really don't like us. And also the membership is approaching 0. Another couple of turns and it will be completely destroyed. But, you know, we need to pray. We need to pray that we don't get assassinated. Membership of the capitalists is also decreasing similarly at a fast rate, which is quite nice. Right, let's go to the next turn. Hope beyond hope. Actually, hold on. Before we do, let's see if we can introduce anything. Trade Business Council. Youth Politics Council. Corporatism. Maybe we'll introduce this, actually. Let's introduce this and see if it actually makes a difference. Self-employed, trade unionist membership. Liberals don't like it. Patriotic membership, environmentalist membership. I mean, alternatively, we could do this. You know what? I want to help trade unionists out. Let's do it. I mean, the trade unionists really don't like us thanks to forced labor, which is probably killing, like, their business, I guess. The whole idea of having a trade union is to protect your interests as an employee. If the entire country is just totally exploited with, like, prisoners and whatnot, in working conditions similar to slavery, I would hasten to add, then trade unionists are probably going to be pretty darn annoyed. Maybe we'll reduce that, actually. Maybe we'll reduce that. It's not got a negative mod. Let's reduce it to like 10 billion. Sure. Let's do that. Negative foreign relations. Foreign relations. How are foreign relations doing? Okay, they're pretty much at 0 anyway. Due in part to the state relation. To the state relations? The state, what do you call it? State religion. Let's bump this, actually. Let's bump this next turn when we have enough money. If we don't die. Come on, don't die. Capitalists, don't kill me, please. A religious plot. Okay, well, a religious plot is fine. An agent gone rogue. Oh no, we planted an agent in a trade union to expose connection to organized crime. He's now turned against us and is about to leak police secrets. Let Angus Price run. That's not a very Russian name. Maybe we should rename it to something like Dmitry Vladimir or something. We'll handle the gangs. Let him have an accident. Accident. Yeah, an accident. Health is down. Why is health down? Health should be going up. Forced labor we've reduced. Yeah, we've reduced forced labor. Okay, we're still running an absolutely huge surplus, which is quite nice. There is a religious plot, Crusaders of the Lord, which I'm not super happy about. This presents us with another opportunity. Perhaps we can see if we can get something. This seems like something that we might be interested in doing, but maybe, honestly, we just spend this turn trying to sort out the fact that our entire cabinet is garbage. Apart from you, of course. You are really good, but the rest of our cabinet is dire. Really, they're awful. Alternatively, we could spend this turn on trying to scale back the whole state religion thing. Let me have a look. Religious people, state religion. Yeah, we could just... Oh, no, we can't. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Maybe just sticking it in the middle somewhere would have been a more sensible idea. But unfortunately, we can't do that because we don't have anywhere near the political capital required. That's fine. Let's just reshuffle the cabinet. I know that there was a really good person for foreign policy, but the fact of the matter is, it sucks. Okay. We are specifically looking for people that are already supportive of us. So, anyone that's socialist, anyone that's retired, anyone that's a patriot, anyone that's poor, state employees, and also conservatives, mostly. There's still a bunch more stuff that we can do to impress the conservatives, but for the most part, that's who we're looking for. Alright, so, trade unionist and a socialist. I mean, what really is the status of trade unionists at the moment? I mean, they really don't like us, but at the same time, that is primarily due to forced labor, which I have just significantly scaled back. So I think that we can actually get away with trade unionist support here. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's do that. So, Foreign Affairs Minister, let's get someone that is also kind of nice. We want someone... You are going to become our... farmers. How are farmers and environmentalists? How do they like us? Farmers don't hate us. That's really, really good. And environmentalists... They also don't hate us. They hate us because of pollution and because of road building slightly. But if we were to work on improving the environment, then we will pretty much be fine forever. Okay, so let's hire the Chancellor. I'm just thinking because she's very loyal and she's very experienced. So we're really, really going to get off to a good start if we hire you to be our Chancellor. Which is pretty much exactly what we want. Alright, now let's go through... Yeah, look at how effective she is. That's really, really good, which means that we'll be able to spend money and take money in significantly better than if we didn't have someone who was that good. Ethnic minorities. Ethnic minorities, I don't think are a big fan of me, to be honest. Yeah, well, they're not... There's just none of them. They don't exist. That's a modifier. Yep, so they don't exist. Yep, fine. Alright, we just... I guess that's not the end of the world, really. If we hire someone like that. As in, if we hire someone who is... has an ethnic minority modifier. I don't think it'll really make that much of a difference. A liberal and a capitalist. I mean, you're really good at the moment, but you're gonna get terrible. Trade unionist and a patriot. Yes. Trade unionist and a patriot. I mean, a patriot and something else would be fantastic. Retired and a motorist. I think you would actually probably be pretty good. Let's put you into transport. Let's put you into transport. Yeah. Law and order. Conservatives and a patriot. Yes, you are pretty much perfect. Public services. Not really sure who's the best person for the job here. Conservatives and farmers. That's a pretty good mix. Sure. Public services. You've got the job. Economy. Economy. Liberal and ethnic minorities. Well, anything with liberal in it is immediately discounted. Retired and a trade unionist. Foreign policy. Sean Wilson. You will become our foreign policy guy. Sean Wilson. Yeah, retired and trade unionist. You are pretty inexperienced, but that doesn't actually matter. Welfare, ethnic minorities, and conservatives. It's a very polarizing bunch of sympathies to have, my friend. Farmers and parents. Yeah? Okay, hold on. We've got this. So you are going to become our economy guy, and you are going to become our welfare guy. Right, I am really happy with this cabinet. This is a really, really good cabinet. I'm pretty certain that none of these guys should really go or get dramatically sad with me anytime soon. Also, would you look at that? That is fantastic. This graph is showing all of the right things. Also, by the way, our debt interest now, how much are we paying in debt interest? Wow, 3 billion. Holy cow. We used to be spending 12. That's a huge, huge saving. 10 billion a turn. All right, hopefully nothing too untoward happens this turn. Hopefully we don't get assassinated. Hopefully, please no. I'll take it. It was the Battenberg group. That's fine. Okay, let's try and digest all of this, because this is quite a lot of interesting stuff. GDP stayed roughly the same. Health is continuing to go down. Really? Why? Why is health continuing to go down? Yeah, okay, I'll look into that in a little bit. Yeah, that's really kind of disruptive. The teacher shortage is still having a terrible effect, and sexism is apparently negative modifier to education. Unemployment has taken a little bit of a jump up, unfortunately. I'm really not sure why that has happened. Yeah, and poverty has also taken a little bit of a jump up. Can't really explain why, to be honest. Religious condemnation. Look, we've only got a couple more turns before religious people don't exist in the country anymore. It's taken a long time to do, but slowly but surely we are getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting there. 28 political capital this turn as well. This, to me, is screaming we need to get something which will give us the ability to hopefully stop people trying to kill us. We need to go and have a look at stuff that we want to get. Mandatory microchip implants. This would be quite good. This would be quite good. What is the maximum amount of political capital that we can save up to? Not that much. We're gonna need to leave it a little bit. That's fine. Independent head of state. That's a no. I'm just, we got quite a lot of political capital here. We should maybe have a little look at what we can actually do. A space program? Man, I would love to do a space program. That would be so great. Government subsidies for unions. I mean, that is absolutely fantastic. A low interest rate can boost your economy. Don't really care about low interest rates. It doesn't particularly matter. Green electronics initiative. All of this stuff is really, really good, but we need to try and get our house in order. We need to try and get our house in order first when it comes to strengthen the tax code. Interesting. Yeah, we need to try and get our house in order when it comes to crime first, I think. Internet censorship. No, not really. I'm not really interested in any of that nonsense. I'm interested in the encryption law purely because it is something which will help us increase our security effectiveness. But apart from that, there's nothing else. The other alternative is that we wait until the next turn before acting. And we will get 23 political capital next turn, which will means that we will go over our cap, which is not exactly what I want to do. But with the encryption, we'll still be left with 8. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's implement encryption. Mandatory encryption. I mean, state monopoly? I feel that state monopoly is the way to go, really. Civil rights protests we want to reduce. Organized crime we also want to reduce, but we don't really want to reduce technology. Would make the liberals unhappy. I just don't want to have a negative modifier to technology, really. Truthfully, I'm not really a big fan of this, to be honest. So revert changes. Let's just exit. See if that counts as like full implementation. It says that we've got a 50% implementation, but I'm pretty sure that's just an indication of where the thing is along the slider. Cost us 1 political capital to lower if we want to in the future, so that's kind of what we can do. I'm really worried that the religious Crusaders of the Lord are going to start coming out in swathes to try and kill me now. It's kind of worrying, actually. The Battenberg groups seem to be reducing. Crusaders of the Lord and the Freedom League, not really a threat at the moment, so that's kind of nice. But I am worried that that might change. Wow, we cannot be any more of an egalitarian society if we tried. Speaking of, by the way, our popularity, I was a way to say we've never been more popular, but we have been more popular. But at the moment, we're pretty darn popular. Hopefully, the uncompetitive economy modifier is going to finish. Nope, not really. Productivity is still stubbornly low. Maybe we should just try and introduce a policy. We've still got a whole bunch of stuff that we can spend, political capital that we can spend. Religious buildings. You know what? This might be a good idea. Let's do this. Now, that's going to be a 17% increase. Takes 8 turns, though. Just rebuild a chapel. I don't want to increase religious membership, really. But it would be nice to have them happy at me. You know what? Let's introduce it. Look, it's a little bit of a waste of political capital, perhaps, but hey-ho. Hopefully we don't get assassinated as a capitalist plot. That's fine. Foreign subversion has developed. How? How is this developed? Oh, well, clearly we need to bump up wiretapping, then. Well, we'll deal with that in just a second. Appoint senior judges. Violent crimes, outspoken views, and harsh sentences. Human rights. Let me take a little look at the security briefing. Battenberg Group are on the rise. Freedom League. Freedom League are not really that dangerous at the moment, but I kind of don't want to upset the Freedom League. So let's appoint Connor Thomas. Once again, a very, very Russian name. Mandatory microchipping implant. Yeah, nothing that we can really do this turn. What about next turn? 23 political capital. All right, let's just pretty much save our political capital. You know, you got to bear in mind is that each and every turn that we go, each and every turn that our GDP is doing, you know, all right enough. Really, this is just, it's just good for us. We can pay off the debt, and as you can see, the debt is just going down very, very rapidly. We paid off a whole bunch, actually, which theoretically should make the capitalists actually kind of happy with us. GDP, look, they are actually starting to like us because our GDP is not completely in the gutter. Yeah. I can't click on this button because that will crash the game. But civil rights protests, it's stubbornly around. It is stubbornly around. Yeah, so I want to get curfews. I want to get detention without trial. I want to get ID cards. I want to get all of this nonsense. Curfews. Can I really introduce anything, actually? Police drones. Maybe I'll just introduce police drones right now. Let's introduce police drones. Sure. Electricity consumption through the roof. Do I really care about that? Not really. Police drones now implemented. Let me have a little look. It's still at high, but that's fine. Mandatory microchip implant. Yeah, so all of the other ones, I think, all of the other policies that will help us with the security stuff, pretty certain that that is all very, very high cost. Yeah. So, the compulsory church attendance. General media torture by the secret services. Oh man, this is very exciting. I mean, obviously, not really, but hey ho. Yeah, so that's kind of worrying, but hopefully we don't get assassinated. Hopefully we don't get assassinated on the next turn. If we do, then that's that. A religious plot. Look, we're trying our best. We are still surviving. Still surviving. And boom, oh yeah, I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. Would you look at this? We have reached the peak value. We have reached the highest of high. It cannot go any higher. I mean, it can go a lot higher, but, you know, all things considered, we're in a pretty darn good place. Our debt is as low as it has ever been. We are on the cusp of pretty much implementing... I was just checking to see if we can implement anything that was remotely interesting. Not really. We are on the cusp of pretty much implementing all of the policies that really matter when it comes to security effectiveness. We can bump up wiretapping. That's what we can do. Let's bump up wiretapping. Let's spend some political capital. Let me have another little look. It still says that wiretapping hasn't been rolled out fully, but that takes 3 turns, so that's fine. Curfews, detention without trial... Yeah, these are all going to cost 50 political capital, so the chances of this happening anytime soon, it's not very soon, I'm afraid. Not very soon. I do want to bump this back up, actually. Yeah, I want to get this. I want to get the National Palace bumped up because that does contribute to security effectiveness somehow. I'm really not entirely sure why. But there you go. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Orbital Potato. This has been Democracy 3, playing, of course, as the Soviet Union. I'll see you next time. Bye.